This is a test. This is a test. This is a test. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Court. I'm the owner of Stitch Witchery by Court, or Court Stitch Witchery. Today I wanted to talk about how before I used to only create plushies. I only made and used chenille yarn because I do have ADHD, which went many years undiagnosed. And honestly, even though I am treated for ADHD now, I still find myself switching between a million projects. It is a little easier to tune in and be able to work on a project for longer, but honestly, I have a million projects in a bin. So I had to do some frogging a few months ago, and that also really helped my passion. To recap, I've been crocheting for about 4 years. I started with plushies, but these days I'm more into making clothes, home decor, accessories, things that you can wear, things that you can use, things that have more use than just sitting on a shelf. And this isn't a bag on plushies. You know, there's plenty of people who think they're adorable. I still think they're adorable. But I guarantee a lot of the plushies I made probably ended up in the trash because they really don't have a use. But I will say all of the crochet clothes, all the knit clothes that I've made, I still have in my wardrobe to this day. I used to only make plushies. That was my niche. That was my hobby. I only wanted to make plushies with chunky chenille yarn, and that has changed drastically. I no longer make plushies unless it's required for whatever. I'm still capable of making plushies, but I prefer clothing, home decor, accessories, pretty much anything under the sun that does not include a plushie. There's nothing wrong with plushies, but I do want to talk about how moving to clothing and home decor completely reignited my love for crochet and knit, and it made my passion come back for the fiber arts. With the crochet, like I mentioned, I also knit. Though I'm still learning, I do tend to bounce between crafts, and this is because it's probably because of my ADHD, honestly. I sometimes want to have that flow of knitting where I'm using the needles, and it's a little different of a flow, different pace. I'm a lot slower of a knitter than I am a crocheter, but crochet is definitely, it holds a special place in my heart because I've been doing it for quite a while now. Finally, a few months ago, I took all of my chenille yarn, all of the yarn that I didn't use. I had bins on bins on bins of Premier Parfait Chunky, Bernette Blanket, a bunch of different plushy chenille yarn, and I sold it. I sold it for $100 for all that yarn. I really hope it's getting good use wherever it is, but I didn't want to do it anymore. I kept all of my special yarns, all of my yarns that I could use for things like wearables and home decor, because I decided that I needed a change in my passion, and it has helped so much. A couple years ago, I really became burnt out with my crochet business. I was selling plushies to people that were close to me, people that I knew from work, people online, and I was just getting creative burnout, honestly. I just really didn't want to do it anymore. And I had something against, like, wearables for some reason. I was so in my niche that I only wanted to make plushies. I thought that was the only thing that was good for me. I thought it was the only thing I was good at. And yeah, I mean, I have some great plushies that I've done, but it's not my passion anymore. It really isn't. So I've been a crochet artist for about 4.5 years now. I started after COVID, and ever since then, my style, the things that I crochet, has really changed. I also picked up knitting about, I'd say, 6 months ago. I've always kind of dabbled the last couple years trying to knit, and I always told everyone I can't knit. It's impossible, that my tension's horrible, it doesn't work. But I actually found out that I can knit, and it's really not as hard as everybody makes it out to seem. So knitting has kind of also really reignited my love for the fiber arts, and it's also reignited my love for clothing, accessories, things like that. I am kind of an advanced crocheter. I pretty much know most techniques. I mean, there's a few things out there that I may not know, of course, but I have a lot of practice. I have thousands of hours in crochet. I'd say I'm only an intermediate knitter. Quartz stitch witchery has come a really different route than when I first started crochet. My store used to be called Sue Bear Crochet. I did have a pattern that I used to sell, and I sold a lot of plushies. My Etsy store, a majority of my sales were plushies or the pattern that I made for the candy corn bat. After, unfortunately, Sue Bear was named after my dog, who is no longer with me. So I did want to change my name. It has nothing to do with, you know, her, and it made me a little bit sad to have that name. So I came up with Quartz Stitch Witchery, which I thought really reflected me. I always kind of dabbled a little bit in the spooky, the witchy, the alternative, and I really wanted to have a name that reflected who I was, and I am a stitch artist. So that's how my channel came about, and that's how my Etsy store came about, although I haven't really been selling very much on Etsy, which is not necessarily an issue, but because, well, Etsy is kind of a place that has been overrun by AI. Even though I don't crochet plushies anymore, like I said, they do still hold a special place in my heart. I feel like plushies are my start. It's where I got my roots. And I do still have my candy corn bat pattern, which it wasn't the most advanced pattern. I definitely think I did well with the instructions, and I still do sell it to this day. I still sell copies here and there, but it's not really my passion anymore. I'll be honest, it felt kind of scary selling all my yarn. I thought, what if I want this later on? What if I miss it? What if I want to go back to plushies? But you know what? I actually felt pretty freed from it. And I think we could go into that too. I think it has to do with your yarn stash and, you know, overconsumption and things like that. But honestly, I just, it felt freeing to get rid of all that yarn because it wasn't my passion anymore. But I still wanted to crochet. I didn't want to give that up. And I found comfort in the things that I make. After I sold all my yarn, I really buckled down and started making things for myself. I started making the clothing. I started making the home decor. I started making the accessories. My first knit project was a Sophie scarf. And I would never wear a Sophie scarf, but my sister, she wanted a Sophie scarf so bad. And I was like, I got you. And knit really ignited my passion for crochet as well. Learning to knit, it made me feel like crochet was something that I wanted to do as well. I really just wanted to get into fiber arts in a way that was different. And it was different. The yarn's different. The feel is different. The purpose is different. And I think that it's really important that if you feel stuck in a hobby and you feel like you don't want to do it anymore, maybe change everything. Change what you make, change how you make it, change the different materials you use. And I really think this could apply anywhere in life. Honestly, if you are in a rut and you feel like you just can't do it anymore, make a change and you might be able to reignite your passion for that thing. Now, am I saying I'm never going to make a plushie again? No, absolutely not. I'm sure I will make plushies again someday. I'm sure I'll make them for family members. I'm sure I'll make them for people's kids, but I'm not going to crank out plushies like I used to. I'm not going to make them and sell them and just burn myself out on a hobby that I want to love. I want to make things for me. I want to make things that I love, not things that other people love. All of this passion for clothing, for home decor, for all of the things crocheted has made me want to start a YouTube channel. And I made this YouTube channel a while ago. I made it for my business and I didn't really know what to do with it, but I really wanted to share my passion for crochet and kind of join the community and post different things. I really love watching challenges. I love watching pattern roundups. I love watching different crochet techniques, different crochet tips, and I really want to dabble more into knitting. I want to become an advanced knitter. I want to knit more sweaters. I want to knit more other things that I will get use out of. And I think this is a good place to grow. I think YouTube, from what I've seen, you know I turn on videos all the time. I turn on crochet videos constantly. And I have my creators that I love and I watch religiously. And I want to be a part of that. And, you know, maybe my personality may not be a cup of tea for some people. I am a little weird. I am a little random. Oh my gosh, quirky, random, lol. I am also a millennial, which is cringe, which explains the cringiness. But yeah, I really want to make a channel based on my vibes. So if you want to join that, if that sounds interesting to you, maybe somebody who's going to do challenges, somebody who's going to do pattern roundup, who's just getting their start, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and we'll be friends. Feel free and comment on this video. I will most likely reply. I'm sure I probably won't get very many comments, and we can chat. So thank you so much, guys, for hanging out with me today. Stay cozy, stay crafty, and I'll see you next time. Bye.